Good evening everyone. My name is Sanehal Praveen Hate and I am rehabilitation therapist, counselor and special educator. Today, I would like to talk about the importance of scientific knowledge and research. This whole video was divided into the 6 sections. Section number 1 is introduction. Section number 2, sources and philosophy of knowledge. Section number 3, scientific thinking and research. Section number 4, role of theory in research. Section 5, need for research in education and special education. Section number 6 is deal with ethics in research. Welcome everyone. Today we embark on captivating exploration of the very foundation of scientific inquiry, the sources and philosophy. So in this video we are going to deal with the section number 2, sources and philosophy of knowledge. This presentation aims to illuminate the wellspring from which scientific methods and research practice flows, and to delve into the diverse philosophical perspective that guide our pursuit of knowledge. So, scientific knowledge does not spring forth magically. It arises from a wellspring of diverse sources. Observation stands on a bedrock where we meticulously gathered data about the world through our senses or meticulously designed instruments. Experimentation allows us to delve deeper, actively manipulating variables to test hypotheses and establish cause and effect relationship. Reasoning, the engine of scientific thought, empowers us to draw logical conclusions from our observation and data and to formulate new questions and hypotheses. Finally, communication and collaboration fuel the scientific endeavor, or researchers share their findings, fostering the cumulative growth of knowledge through open exchange and diverse perspectives. We begin our exploration of the foundation of knowledge acquisition. This unit will delve into the 4 basic sources of knowledge acquisition and how they contribute to our understanding of world. 4 basic sources of knowledge acquisitions: perception, memory, consciousness, and reason. From perception, we gain knowledge through our senses, that is sight, hearing, touch, smell, and taste. As we perceive and interact with the world around us. Memory. Our memories store and retain information from our experiences, allowing us to recall and use past knowledge. Consciousness. Our awareness of ourself, our thoughts, and our surrounding plays a role in how we interpret and integrate information. We use logic, critical thinking, and reasoning to analyze information, draw conclusions, and form our understanding of world. This slide is again emphasis that memory is acknowledged as a source of justification for knowledge. Its role is primarily preservative rather than generative. This means memory helps us retain existing knowledge, but it does not necessarily create a new knowledge on its own. Clarify the source and the ground relationship. It explains that we'll explore what is in virtue of which one knows or justifiably believes. In simpler terms, this delves into the foundation or justification for our knowledge and belief. Role of coherence. Let's examine the role of coherence. We'll also explore the relationship of coherence to knowledge and justification. It distinguishes between negative dependence on incoherence, which hinders understanding, and positive dependence on coherence, which strengthens both knowledge and justification. Incoherence refers to inconsistency or incompatibility within a system of knowledge, while coherence signifies consistency and interconnectedness, which strengthen the validity of our understanding. So, let's discuss the Plato's circle diagram of knowledge. We will delve into the Plato's circle of knowledge, concept of knowledge justification, which is a central theme in epistemology. That is the branch of philosophy concerned with nature, sources, and limits of knowledge. Plato's definition of knowledge is often represented as justified true belief. This slide uses a Venn diagram to illustrate this concept. The center circle that labeled belief represent all the things that one believes regardless of whether they are true or false. The circle labeled truth represents all the things that are true regardless of whether they are believed or not. The shaded area where the two circles overlap represent justified true belief. According to the Plato, is the only kind of a knowledge. It is important to note that justification in this context refers to having a good reason to believe something is true, not just simply believing it strongly. Plato's definition of knowledge has been influential in philosophy, but it has also been challenged by other philosophers. Some argue that it is possible to have knowledge without having justification, while others argue that justification is not sufficient for knowledge. We will explore Plato's concept of divided line, which is an analogy he uses to illustrate his theory of knowledge and reality. This slide depicts a horizontal line divided into the four sections of unequal length labeled imagination, belief, thinking, and understanding. The line is further divided into a horizontal line at the center separating world of sense and world of forms. World of sense belongs to imagination and belief, and world of forms included thinking and understanding. The world of sense is a realm of our everyday experiences perceived through our senses. According to Plato, this world is constantly changing and imperfect, and the knowledge we gain from it is mere opinion. The section labeled imagination represents the lowest level of knowledge, where we rely on appearances and shadows which are unreliable and ever-changing. This section labeled belief represents a higher level of knowledge than imagination, but it is still based on the senses and is therefore not true. Now, let's discuss the world of forms. The world of form is the realm of perfect, eternal, and unchanging entities that exist outside of the physical world. These forms are true objects of knowledge, and understanding them is ultimate goal of philosophical inquiry. The section labeled thinking represents the process of using reason and logic to gain knowledge of the forms through mathematical concepts and abstract ideas. The subject labeled understanding represents the highest level of knowledge, where we directly apprehend the forms themselves through a process of recollection according to Plato's. We will explore the realm of epistemology. Epistemology is a branch of philosophy with nature, sources, and limits of knowledge. The slides depicts a brain surrounded by the question marks, which symbolize the core theme of epistemology: questioning and critical examining knowledge claims. Epistemology and the different ways of knowing. Now let's delve into the concept of epistemology and explore different ways of knowing. Before that, we have to know what is epistemology. So, epistemology is the branch of philosophy concerned with true nature, sources, and limits of knowledge. It essentially deals with a question like what is knowledge? How do we know what we know? What are the limits of our knowledge? Now, let's see the different ways of knowing. First is intuitive knowledge, authoritative knowledge, logical knowledge, and empirical knowledge. Intuitive knowledge based on belief, faith, intuition, and feeling. Authoritative knowledge derived from sources like people, books, or supreme being. Its strength relies on the credibility of these sources. Logical knowledge obtained through reasoning from generally accepted point of view knowledge. Empirical knowledge grounded in demonstrable objective fact obtained through observation and experimentation. Research and the ways of knowing. Let's explore the relationship between research and different ways of knowing. Research is positioned as one of several ways of knowing. Research employs all the four ways of knowing, that is, intuitive knowing, authoritative knowing, logical knowing, and empirical knowing. Intuitive knowing, this refers to gaining knowledge through intuition or gut feeling. Authoritative knowing involves accepting knowledge from trusted authorities or established sources. Logical knowing refers to using reason and logic to arrive at conclusions. Empirical knowing, this involves gathering evidence through observation and experimentation. So, research employs all the four ways of knowing. Like intuitive knowing can spark initial research ideas and question. Authoritative knowing involves reviewing professional literature and established knowledge in the field. Logical knowing is crucial for reasoning from finding to conclusion and developing research methods. Empirical knowing is the fundamental to conducting research through procedures that led to factual findings. Each approach may vary depending on research question and methodology. Understanding different ways of knowing and their role in research can contribute to a more comprehensive and well-rounded approach to knowledge acquisition and exploration. Focus on empirical knowledge in research based on objective facts is highlighted as the primary focus of modern research in education and its interdisciplinary domains. The term empirical research is specifically used to describe the types of research that aims to establish facts and facets. Role of empirical knowledge in modern research. In education, primarily aims at establishing facts and facets through empirical knowledge. This understanding the significance of objective, observable data obtained through rigorous methods in the research process. These key points outline the definition of epistemology, the four sources of knowledge, the integration of various ways of knowing in research, the focus on empirical knowledge, and central role of empirical research in a modern educational research. So, now discuss in the modern scientific research, different sources of knowledge plays a distinctive roles in shaping the process, methodology, and outcome. Let's explore the role of each source: intuitive, authoritative, logical, and empirical. Intuitive knowledge sparks curiosity and initiates the research process by inspiring initial questioning and ideas. Authoritative knowledge provides a solid foundation, incorporating established theories and findings into research framework. Logical knowledge guides the development of logical framework, structures, and model, facilitating systematic reasoning. Empirical knowledge validates or refutes hypotheses through rigorous observation and experimentation, ensuring the reliability of research outcomes. Now, let's discuss the vision of sources of knowledge. Superstition and intuition. Superstition involves acquiring knowledge based on subjective feeling and belief in magical events. Intuition is a subconscious acquisition of knowledge without conscious awareness of its origin. Authority. Gaining knowledge through respected or famous figures is acquiring knowledge via authority. Tenacity involves obstinately adhering to a belief due to repeated exposure rather than evidence. Commonly used political campaigns and advertising to shape public perception. Rationalism, knowledge acquisition through logical reasoning and precise statements. Empiricism, gaining knowledge through objective observation and sensory experiences. Science merges relationism and empiricalism to form a comprehensive approach to knowledge. Scientific methods and research are constantly evolving, drawing upon diverse sources of knowledge and informed by various philosophical perspectives. As we continue this journey of exploration, embracing these sources and philosophy empowers us to refine our understanding of world, ask new questions, and push boundaries of knowledge. If you have any query, request you to post it. If you like our video, kindly share it, subscribe it. Thank you.